So Leigh, this session is being recorded, obviously, which is great.
Cool.
So the majority of people will actually be watching back afterwards, but we
No
will have a
problem.
couple of people joining throughout your presentation, I would imagine, because I think people are finishing assemblies and stuff like that.
Shoots time assemblies, yeah, well versed in that. Yeah, no problem.
Perfect. So I'm going to hand over to you, though. We're so excited to introduce the wonderful Leigh, who we absolutely adore, Eric.
Thanks, Sam. Well, as I said, kind of morning, everybody. Those who are joining, those who are watching on kind of catch up. It's great to be here. I'm going to talk about the creative industries through the lens of film, particularly, and TV. British Film Institute, just to give you a bit of background, we have a royal charter. We're all 100 years old. In 2023, we're 100 years old, and we don't make films. We fund films. We help films progress. We look after talent. We get young people involved in the industry. But just to kind of break that myth straight down, the BFI does not make films, but we do lots of other great, cool things. Been doing a bit of work with Sam and May at Eric for a while now. I'll refer to a little bit of that research. So I'm just going to take you through kind of where I think we're up to in the film and TV industries and how, as young people, you can kind of get involved. I'm really pleased that Joe Spence from Interfilm is kind of butting onto the back of me, because again, we partner with Interfilm. They do loads of brilliant work with us, and Joe will be able to tell you about all the great resources that they've created. So first off, the size of the industry, people might not understand this or know it. The film and TV industries are the fastest growing sector in the UK. Last year, about £6.3 billion was spent across film and HETV. HETV, for those of you who don't know, it's things like Disney Plus, Amazon, Netflix, the high-end television that have kind of budgets similar to films. The money is spent in kind of three ways. It's spent by UK companies. So that's kind of homegrown investment. It's spent by inward investment when people come and they want to actually invest in spending in the UK. And then we have kind of collaborational partnerships where, you know, a company from the UK and then somebody from elsewhere around the world wants to kind of collaborate on something. And the reason that people come over to the UK and spend their money here is there's quite a good tax incentive. For everything that you do, you can get tax breaks against it. So actually you get money back from Treasury, which is fantastic. The kind of size of the film is, this is dwarfed by Hollywood, of course, but about 220 films started shooting during 2022. Bear in mind, this was post-pandemic. Studios were just getting back up and running, and about 195 HETV productions, as I said, through things like Disney, Netflix, Prime, things like that. And at the moment across the UK, we have about 6 million square feet of studio space, which is great. It's a huge amount, but more is to come. The issue that we've got is the industry is growing, and we expect by 2025 for spend across film and HGTV to hit about 7.5 billion. And I think that's quite a conservative estimate, the way things are going. To serve that, the UK needs to double the studio space. So you'll have heard of things like Pinewood, those big studios. There's lots and lots of studios being planned. About 40 are being planned across the UK in various sizes. And, you know, the one over there in Dagenham, I think it's East London Film Studios. That's kind of well under the way to being made and put together. The really exciting thing for young people and people who want to get into the industry is between 20 and 25,000 new workers are going to be needed in the industry over the next 3 to 5 years. And that's on top of whoever's already here. So for those of you, you know, those kind of myths that there's no jobs in the creative industries, there's no jobs in film and TV, is rubbish. There's loads and loads of jobs. There's loads of new jobs, and there's loads of jobs that haven't been invented yet. So it's a great place to be in at the moment. The problem is, you know, we've got a big problem at the moment. We've got a big problem in recruiting young people into the industry. As I said, we did a bit of research with Eric last year, and Sam led on that. And there's just a few kind of stats here, which I think is really important to understand, is that employers are saying it's really difficult to actually employ new people into the industry. And they recognise that there's a widening in the amount of in the skills gaps and shortages, and that's kind of the difference between the number of people just physically coming into the industry and then the type of skills that they're coming into the industry with. There's a big problem, you know, of boots on the ground, but also specific skills. From the research we did, young people say it's really hard to find good careers, information, advice and guidance across the kind of creative industries, and also film and TV. And 2/3 of young people want more from everybody we interviewed. So we're going to do something about it. We're investing £1.9 million a year with Interfilm to do something about that, to make sure that really great careers, information, advice and guidance lands on your desk. 1 in 5 young people said they'd be interested in a job in the screen industries, but only 5% believe it's achievable. And that's a massive, massive concern. The big problem at the moment is within the film and TV industries, lots of people think it's about who you know, not what you know. And there's lots of what they call nepotism, where, you know, family, friends, relatives are getting jobs because of who they know, not what they are or what they do. And we need to break that. We've got to break that cycle. And that's why we're investing so much money in careers, information, advice and guidance, among other things. Only 1 in 5 careers teams that we spoke to knew where to get relevant information about the film and screen industries, which is really, really poor. So again, we're investing a lot of money working with careers advisors, teachers, leaders online. I said Joe Spence, brilliant Joe Spence from Interfilm, will talk about that later on and let you know where all that is, which is great. We also kind of have spoken to Gen Z. This is the 11 to 26 age group. I figure most people on this call will be roughly within that kind of age group, apart from old fuddy-duddies like me. 80-odd% believe that screen industries are important to the economy, and they are. They contribute massively to the economy, and they are growing exponentially. They're going through the roof. You know, there's lots of investment going on. The good thing is, 50% believe they're well-respected industries. They like the idea of getting a job in the industry. They think they're good industries. They offer good career prospects, etc. But 70% think it's hard to get a job in the screen industries, which again is a real problem for us. Is 7 out of 10 people are kind of stopping at the first hurdle and saying, oh, we don't know what to do. Then that's a massive problem for us, which we need to address. I'll kind of say it now, and I'll repeat it again later on. There is a job for everybody in the screen industries, no matter what you do, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. In terms of opportunities, big, what we call tentpole films, they're the big kind of 20, 25 million pound plus budget films. On those kind of big films that you see at the cinema, on TV, there's around about 500 separate roles on a big budget film. That's not 500 people working, that's 500 different roles on a big budget film. So you can see straight away that there are massive opportunities. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the differences between those in a second. But first of all, I want to show you, I'm hoping this is going to work and all come, is just a little bit, a great little short piece from BAFTA about the opportunities. So here we go.
The BAFTA goes to...
If it's your name in that envelope, who do you thank? Well, you thank the producer, thank the director, thank the person that runs the projector, thank the coders, thank the clapperboard loaders, and shout out to the artists that made the ogres. Thank the script writers, the crowd exciters, and the mood lighters. Thank your agent, thank this agent, maybe not this agent. And don't forget to thank the runners, the set builders, the lunch makers, and the punch fakers. Thank the boom operator, the kaboom operator. Thank your parents, thank your partner, thank your brothers. Thank the person who filmed the gorillas. Thank the person who played the gorillas. Thank the wig makers, hair, makeup, and wardrobe for providing the hats. Thank the people who pulled these strings, and your heartstrings. Thank the person who yelled, action! The actor who didn't make the cut, and everyone else in the credits who rarely gets a mention. There's a lot of people behind every BAFTA. You could be one of them.
So I think that gives you a really great kind of insight into the types of roles. And I'm just going to split them down really quickly for you, because I think it's really important to kind of understand the two kind of main differences, or the two kind of roles. We have what we call above the line and below the line. And the above the line roles are about the creative foundation. They're the people who kind of start the projects off. So they're the director who might have the vision for the film, an executive producer who might look after the business of film and bring things all together, the screenwriter who's kind of tasked with actually putting the script together and turning maybe something like a book or a play into a film, the casting director who will sit down and kind of look at who we're going to employ to be in the main roles. And also above the line is principal cast. And these are the kind of main people that you would see on the films. If you look at a billboard or what have you, they're the kind of names that you normally see straight off. Of course, there are huge amounts of other people in the cast as well, supporting cast. These are the roles that if you ask somebody, do you want a job in the film or TV industries, these are the kind of roles that people will automatically say, yeah, this is the type of role I want to do. It's the roles that people know. But there's 500 different roles on a film, and we have what we call below the line. And the great thing about that BAFTA piece is it really kind of opens up and shows you what type of other roles there are. So what I call these the wheels turning roles. These are actually what makes the whole thing happen. So, you've got loads of different things in there. There's loads in the BAFTA, cinematographer, the person behind the camera, art directors, location managers, medics, caterers, lawyers, accountants, carpenters, electricians. There are so many different roles. And what we're trying to say to people is, listen, if you do want to be a carpenter or an electrician, why not come and bring those skills and bring them onto a film or TV set? If you want to be a plasterer, there's a particular role called fibrous plasterer. And this is a particular technique of how you plaster and make sets look really fantastic. There are only about 6 registered in the UK, and up until a while ago, they were all in Northern Ireland working on Game of Thrones, and nobody could get a fibrous plasterer to come and work on their shows. So there are so many opportunities out there for you, no matter what you want to do or what your interests are. I'll talk a little bit, I know this is going to be covered later on, but again, we talk a lot to people who recruit, so line managers, managing directors, hiring managers. And actually, what they really want to see in people is not necessarily this kind of fantastic academic background, although obviously that's important and great for some people. But what they want is they want to see evidence that people have got up, kind of self-motivated and done their own stuff. So if you have got your own work, no matter what you think of it, if it's, just that you've done on an iPhone or whatever, get it into a kind of a digital CV, put it together, ready to show somebody. Because people want to see that you've got up, motivated yourself and done it. They want to know that when you're talking in interviews to people or making applications, they want to know that you can work collaboratively. They want to know you can work on your own, but also you're happy to be part of a team. They want to know that you can solve the problems and you're not going to constantly be asking for help. When something comes up, you're just going to go and sort it. They want people who are going to turn up on time, not worry about working long hours when you need to. They want positive attitudes. They want people who will pick things up really quickly. And again, really interesting, when you're talking to people who are working in like the post-production houses, gaming, animation, again, they're really happy for people to come with experience of certain software and hardware. But most houses have their kind of own bespoke approach to things, and they want people who can take the knowledge with them they've already got and then really learn quickly with the new stuff. They want people who've got attention to detail. They want people to use their own initiative. They want people who will stand up and talk and be able to communicate effectively and clearly with people. And they want people who are organized, who are going to get things done on time, in the right place, and really kind of pull it together. So what I would say is, if you are looking to apply even for an apprenticeship or a course or whatever it is, or a job, really focus in on these things and make sure that you kind of get them front and center and be your own hype monster, be the person who shouts about who you are and what you are and make sure people know. Pathways wise, there is no straight right route. There's no right or wrong route. There's lots of different things you can do. You can take the GCSE in film and A-level in film. You can take vocational qualifications. There's loads of brilliant vocational qualifications in film, animation, gaming, all that kind of thing. You can take the new T-level starting next September in broadcast media production. You can look at an apprenticeship. You can look at doing something with the BFI Film Academy. I'll talk about that in a second. You can go on and do a degree. You can get work experience, or you can go, straight to employment, or you can do a massive mix of all of these. I always go back to a story. Chris Evans, who you probably have heard of, he's a radio presenter, was on BBC Two. He's now back at Virgin. When he started at Virgin as a young radio presenter, for 52 days running, he knocked on the door of the kind of managing director of Virgin and asked for a job. 52 days later, he got a job. And I think something like 5 or 6 years later, he ended up owning Virgin Radio and selling it for an obscene amount of money. So there is no straight way, there's no right way, but there are lots of different ways that you can use there. I want to show you a little piece now, just very quickly. I mentioned BFI Film Academy. If you're 16 to 19, you're sitting there thinking, well, my school or college doesn't do film, or I'm not taking those subjects, but I'm really interested. We offer BFI Film Academy, 45 locations across the UK. We offer about 12-week courses. You get a qualification, an NCFE qualification at the end of it, and you get a script-to-screen experience. So you start off with nothing. Between you write a script, pull it together, you shoot it, you edit it, and you show it. So it's a really kind of great in-depth experience. It's really well respected in the industry. And at the end of it, you can apply to do one of two things. You can apply to go to the NFTS National Film and Television School, which is brilliant, for a 2-week residential. There's 80 places a year for that. and or you can apply to go on one of our traineeship schemes with one of the big studios which we work with. That's fully paid, £500 a week for up to 6 months, on set, proper work. So it's a real kind of good, but I want to show you really what the BFI Film Academy is. So here we go.
This opportunity has just been absolutely amazing.
I'm loving this experience. I just enjoy every moment of it.
Quiet on set, action.
The BFI Film Academy is for 16 to 25-year-olds across the UK who are interested in a career in the screen industry. The BFI Film Academy offers everything from practical hands-on courses to traineeships and mentorships, and finally events and festivals. We run 50 short courses across the UK where young people can learn about the different roles in the industry and how to make a short film. We also run specialist courses where young people can really focus on a specific area, such as documentary, craft skills, animation, art department, film festivals, and audience development. Our labs and scene events are available UK-wide, online and in person. Labs are monthly masterclasses, panel discussions, and workshops led by industry professionals. Scene are our weekly Instagram live events hosted by the BFI Film Academy Young Programmers. They're interviews with young filmmakers, giving them a chance to promote their films and giving you a chance to learn from your filmmaking peers.
Because of the Young Programmer Scheme, I've really learned what I want to do with my career, and I've made the contacts and picked up the skills that I need to do that.
We run the Future Film Festival, which is the UK's largest film festival for young people. We have masterclasses, panel discussions, workshops, and screenings.
Making a film in general is a cool thing, but being able to show it here at BFI South Bank is just incredible.
We offer mentoring schemes and an incredible opportunity to take part in our traineeship programme, where we have placed young people on films such as Star Wars, Black Widow, and Bond.
This opportunity means the world to all the trainees.
I would not have got this opportunity if it wasn't for the BFI.
Because of the BFI Film Academy, I feel like my voice matters.
Without the BFI Film Academy, I would not be in the film industry at all. So thank you to the Film Academy.
And going to leave it with, you are the solution, you are the future. Doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, what your parents did, what your friends are doing. There is a place in the screen industries for you.
Absolutely. Leigh, thank you so much. Round of applause. Honestly, you did keep to time as well, so I am very impressed by that. Thank you so much for that. That has been wonderfully insightful. I've definitely taken away so much stuff, even though, Leigh, I feel like I should have known all of that already.